This game, you bet. Amherst has been like a runaway train all season on offense, and nobody's been able to slow them down, and that was the case tonight as the Bulldogs defeated Milford for the second consecutive season in the six-man championship game. It was the Bulldogs versus the Bulldogs, and here comes Amherst out ready to play in Sweetwater tonight. First time they touched the ball, punt and return. That's Chris Brantley. Watch him go 55 yards, setting the early tone for the ball game. Amherst would jump up to a 24-0 lead in this game. Who they have to stop? We know, number 34, Dwayne Miles. Low action camera here. See him getting down to about the 1 yard line, setting up the first touchdown. He would take it in himself right here from about 2 yards out. And the extra point, or 2 points, should make it 8-0 early in the ball game. Coach Jack Healy did not look that excited right here early in the ball game, but he had plenty to be excited about a little later. Watch the fumble here, recovered by Tommy Traylor for Amherst. That set up who else? Miles back into the end zone. 16-0 at this point. The final would read 72-48. We'll have post-game interviews for you tomorrow night on our Sunday night show. Well, the Odessa Permian Panthers
peak at tonight's six-man high school football championship, a clinic in spastic behavior. The Amherst Bulldogs and running man Dwayne Miles trying to exhaust last year's foe Milford. They meet again this time. Same results for Amherst, a little wider margin. They win easily, 72-48. Dwayne Miles, 9 touchdowns, over 500 yards. Total offense by Mr. Miles himself. Can you say machine? Elsewhere, the Class 5A
Bowl, 5A Division I. Chip highlights now, Texas Bowl for six-man. And it's about 230 miles to the west of us here at the Mustang Bowl in Sweetwater. It is the Battle of the Bulldogs Part 2. Second year in a row, the rematch, defending state champion Amherst against Milford.
This would be a huge night for the Bulldogs from Amherst and for their outstanding running back, Dwayne Miles. Miles breaks tackles here, and then he's off to the end zone. Some 68 yards, and at this point, Amherst is leading the contest 38-0 in the second quarter. Milford isn't quite done. They'll battle back just before the half. Their outstanding quarterback, Chris Pendleton, will scramble off the high snap. Then the shovel pass goes to Corey Johnson. Johnson will take off after the pass for 43 yards and a touchdown. And Milford at that point kicks for 2. They make it, and it's a 38-8 contest. Amherst would lead the game 38-16 at the half. Miles takes over again in the third quarter for Amherst. 5 yards in for this score. It's 44-16 Dogs. Milford comes back, but then on the kickoff, Miles picks up the ball off the pitch, and he's off again. 51 yards this time for the score. Amherst leads it 52-22. Milford again has the answer, but the night was owned by Dwayne Miles. Miles one more time with a big long-range run. 50 yards as he turns the corner, then comes back to the left. It's 58-28 Bulldogs at this point, and then Amherst would then seal it. Dwayne Miles, 420 yards rushing, 9, count them, 9 touchdowns. That brings his 1995 playoff total to 40. The highest six-man scoring championship game ever with 120 points. 72 of them go to Amherst. They're the repeat state champions of the six-man classification, 72-48 over Milford.
Milford's got a good ball club, and we jumped out on them and let down a little bit, and they came back and got back in the ball game, but we just kept answering. Every time they came up, we answered back with them.
Captured their second straight six-man state championship. The quote, Sam Scott of the Avalanche Journal today in his article, Amherst and their opponent Milford were, quote, miles apart. The defending state champs came out fired up last night in Sweetwater. Milford, their opponent for the second year in a row, saw miles and miles of miles. Senior running back Dwayne Miles, that is. The super scamper scored the first 5 touchdowns of the game. And when he ran it in on this spectacular 68-yard effort, Miles had given Amherst a 38-0 lead in the second quarter and given Milford more than they can handle.
We've got a lot of weapons, you know, that we can hurt you with, and of course Miles is great and a great ball player, but there's 5 others out there that, you know, are blocking for him, and they all did a good job tonight.
To Milford's credit, their Bulldogs fought hard and made a game of it. Quarterback Marcus Johnson's great athletic play got the ball to Chris Pendleton, and this single play enabled Milford to pull to within 16 points in the fourth quarter at 58-42.
They came back and got back in the ball game, but we just kept answering. Every time they came up, we answered back with them.
I know that we'll suck it back up. I think we just got a little bit tired, and they just started coming back, then we just suck it up.
And suck it up, Amherst did. Miles would continue to run hard, scoring on this 54-yard kickoff return, an unbelievable play. On the night, Miles would run for 416 yards, and he scored 9 of his team's 10 touchdowns.
He came through for us. Like I say, I didn't realize he had 400 yards, but he's tremendous individual. Not only a good ball player, but he's a tremendous individual. And I'm proud for him, and I'm proud for all of our kids.
In the end, Amherst would win it again, 72-48, their second consecutive state six-man championship.
Thank you. Thank you, Ro. Here it is. I'm going to enjoy this one. I don't want anybody to say anything about three-peat for a while. I want to enjoy this one.
Well, we'll give you a little while on that three-peat. Without Dwayne Miles, it's going to be tough next year, but congratulations to Amherst. Great victory last night, and we're proud of it.
Okay.